Hey everyone, welcome back to another Smite 2 voiceover game. In this one, we will be playing we will be playing Cabroken, Smite 2 Ranked. And I'm actually surprised that most people don't play this character that often, because I actually think he's really good, and hopefully you'll see that after this game as well. But we are in Demigod right now. I'm sure there's, a few deities in this game, and a few masters as well. But as for us, we're in Demigod currently. And yeah, I kind of wanted to do a cab game, just do a little voiceover. By the end of this game, by the end of this video, you'll understand how to play cab better in support. You'll understand how to build them better. And you'll understand what not to do because of some of the plays I'm going to go over. So let's go ahead and get right into this gameplay. First things first, relic choice. I went shell. Now, typically, I think Blink is a much better utility tool on cab. It's a much better relic over shell because cab has very, very short range abilities. Okay, and because he has short range abilities, it makes it a lot harder to kind of get over to people. Now you can buy things like Hexstone, which we'll be getting into later on this game as well, to help close that gap. But you need a way to close the gap for the cab, and Blink is one of the best ways to do it. Now, Blink, of course, isn't really the most sought after relic because it's not nearly as good as it used to be whenever you could combat Blink, but in my opinion, it's still a really good relic. It's still a really good engage tool, and Cab used it really, really well. Now, the reason why I went shell this game was A, because I wasn't thinking, but B, because it actually ends up working out because they have a Yemoja. So whenever they have wall-based characters like Yemoja, for example, who, one of their biggest plays is to get massive ults off, of course you want to go Phantom Shell for your team, and you'll see as the game progresses that this shell actually ends up saving us in some of these fights. So it was actually a really, really good thing that I went shell this game. But we're going to go ahead and try to flank over here. I was kind of calling for the Yemo here, and the main reason why I was calling for the Yemo was just because it's, one, she was half, and two, it's a lot easier to kill her because Cupid has a dash. But so we'll be looking for the Yemo quite a bit in this lane to try to kill her, unless we can kind of lock down the Cupid. But yeah, I'm very surprised that you can't, as soon as I say that, I go on the Cupid. Amazing. But I will say, I'm very surprised that most people don't play this character because he is riddled with CC. I actually like him a lot better than I did in Smite 1. And the reason being is because, A, he gets the same 2 stuns he used to get. His 2 works a little bit differently now, so now it has 2 charges. One of them stuns and one of them is just a regular damage boost. Not boost, but, just does regular damage. But the other thing, too, is that his 3, you can slam it again and you can cripple enemies. So his 3 isn't just a vortex, but, of course, the trade-off being, longer cooldown, and it ending, but you actually get a cripple off, which is really, really good. So this character is just riddled with CC, and I feel like he is, like I said earlier, just really, really good. So hopefully after this game too, you'll just want to play this character a little bit more. But we're just gonna kind of bully these guys a little bit in lane, just try to farm up as much as we can. We do have Kali, and she's actually really strong right now, especially in the ADC role. The aspect ranged auto attack Kali is pretty damn good. So we are just gonna farm a little bit. Don't want to take too much damage. One of the whole things about cab as well is that you want to be pretty tanky. And so we will be obviously building to be tanky this game. But the other thing too is that you want some sort of MS, because like I said earlier, you're a very close range character, right? And so because you're a close range character, you want a way to close that gap. You can do that with Blink. You can do that with Cersei's Hexstone. There's multiple ways in Smite 2 to be able to do that. Another really, really good thing to do is build some MS, build some movement speed. So in our starters, we have War Flag. The reason for War Flag, one is to help dominate lane, right? We get attack speed, we get movement speed, and we get sustain. And the other thing, of course, is just the movement speed, right? The movement speed is going to allow us to help close that gap a little bit more and just increase the pressure even more than we already have. So we are doing a really, really good job of farming. Now that I have my ult, I want to be looking for some plays here, right? They are level 4. Yemo's still level 4, so I kind of want to look for the Yemo if we can. But I think these guys are actually playing pretty smart. They're not aggressing too much. They realize they're kind of outmatched when it comes to the characters, so they're kind of playing a little bit back. But we want to look for somebody. I actually ended up going on the Cupid because he was just too slow with everything. We get a really good cripple off, a really good extra stun, and then another good 2. So we played this perfectly. We played this absolutely perfectly to be able to kill that Cupid. We trapped him in with the ult. We stunned him, then body blocked him, so it made it hard for him to get out. Then we crippled him with the double slam. You want to look for that, especially if you can catch the dash. It's really, really hard, but if you can do it, they're pretty much guaranteed dead, right? Because again, it's a cripple, so they can't dash, but also if they're in the process of dashing and you hit that, then it's going to cancel their dash, and all of a sudden now their dash is on cooldown. Easy peasy, right? Lemon squeezy. So you're going to be able to get them. But After we did all that, we stunned him. And like I said, this character, a lot of CC, very, very hard to play against. So we're going to back up here a little bit. Now, moving on to my next item, which I should be getting fairly soon. Oh, it looks like I'm just kind of staying in lane because there's a wave here, and that's completely fine. I kind of want to save it for the Kali. Or wait, do I want to save it for the Kali? Okay, well, if we were playing this perfectly, we save it for the Kali. Okay, we do. Yeah, we're just doing damage. We're just testing the waters a little bit. But we're going to back here a little bit. We just stayed to save that wave for her. And we're going to go ahead and get Spirit Robe. Spirit Robe is really, really good, especially really on any support right now. But it's going to be a really, really good item on Cab in particular, just because it makes you very tanky, and Cab really wants to get in there. All right, and so the deal behind Spirit Robe is that whenever you get CC'd, you get 6% of your max HP back. I don't think it stacks. It used to. I don't think it stacks anymore. Maybe there is like some sort of cooldown. But the other thing too is that you get pretty much double the prots of Spirit Robe that Spirit Robe has whenever you get CC'd as well. And so they have an Anubis this game. They have a Wukong. They have Yamucha. They have a lot of CC is my point, is what I'm trying to get at. And so, of course, we want to build as tanky as possible. Spirit Robe is going to be the play. I don't know how that 2 missed. GG. If I see my Cab miss that too, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe this guy's kind of ass. And then the other thing that you might have seen me click on was Oni Hunter Garb. And that's because, again, Oni is going to be a very tanky item. Cab, I want to get in there. Being very repetitive, but it makes sense with the items that I'm trying to build. I want to get in there. I want to run in there. I want to take as much damage as I possibly can. Oni's is another very good item that allows me to do that. It's going to give me some mana sustain, which is great because Cab does use a lot of mana. But the other thing, too, is it's going to give me mitigation. So it's going to give me about 4% mitigations per stack. And it maxes out, I believe, at 3 stacks, so it'll give me 12% damage mitigation. That on top of my passive, it's going to be really, really nice. And so we pull gold here. I don't think I made this call. I think Kali did. She had a lot of pressure. And this is why, by the way, pressure in dual lane is really, really good for this reason. It's an extension from Smite 1 as well. But you want to get pressure in dual lane so you can do gold, right? And so, like, having that pressure, we're able to pull that off. And then we also saw that they backed to mid, so it's like, hey, let's go for the gold here. That was good. We're going to go back in here, try to just kind of screw with these guys a little bit. We do have Shell to protect us, which we pop right now. And then we get a stun off, but unfortunately we don't kill anybody, and yeah, we end up dying. We get beamed by Anubis. That was really unfortunate. That Wukong was a lot tankier than I thought he was, and I guess Agni just doesn't have the damage. Dude, by the way, Agni right now feels insane. Not that I've played him, but having him on your team and playing against him, that character feels insane right now. And so I feel like that character is like maybe A tier or whatever the case. Like, he just does a ton of damage. So I know this Agni is going to scale late game, is I guess what I'm trying to say. I know this Agni is going to hard scale late game. But we see that Lightning gets an ult up top right, so we should be heading over there. I think I was maybe talking in the chat here, so I wasn't paying attention. We should have taken the right pathing from the Phoenix because we want to get to this fight as fast as possible. Cab is a brawler character. Yeah, look at me going back to me. What am I doing? There we go. Cab is like a brawling-based character. And damn, that was a really good ult by Cuckoo. I know I can't do anything here, so I'm just going to run back. But Cab, for the third time, is a brawling-based character, so you kind of want to fight as much as possible, right? Like, that's what you want to do with Cab. You want to initiate fights. You want to support fights, all that kind of jazz, because he's so good at doing all that stuff. So, but like right now we're just playing really, really aggressive because we know they can't really do too much damage to us. We know we're really tanky with the Spirit Robe, with Cab passive, and with the fact that, well, we're actually level 8, which is a really, really good level, right? We're kind of on par with them. So they can't really do too much damage to us. And we're just chilling. We're just clearing this wave. I should be saving this for Agni if I'm playing correctly. Don't worry, we saved the 2 minions for him, and we tell him sorry. So, you know, that makes up for it, I guess. I love that game. But we want to kind of patrol this side. One thing I tend to do a lot is I want to stick towards dual lane most of the time. If I'm not like rotating around, this is a habit from Smite 1, but it's also one of the most effective ways to play ranked. And that's just because you can camp the enemy ADC, make them rage, which is massive. Not make them buy rage, but make them physically rage, and then get your ADC up. And then again, like I said, gold is like a powerhouse objective in this game. In this game in particular, it wasn't Smite 1 as well, but especially in Smite 2, because it actually stacks, right? And each stack gives you and your teammates different buffs. And so a lot of the buffs that it's going to give you and your allies are buffs that allow you to siege better. It's going to give you a lot of sieging buffs, which is really nice. So we clear this, and I'm like, okay, let's go ahead and just push this tower, right? There's nothing else to do. Now's a good time to push tower. We want to get something for being here and kind of taking his farm. I'm trying to look for an ult on this Cupid whenever I can. That's why I'm angling myself like this. We end up fucking up, but don't worry. That was a zoning ult. Do not worry about it. And what we're going to do is try to kill this tower, and then we're just going to try to get out. That's pretty much what we're going to try to do. However, the cavalry has arrived, and does he make it? Let's find out. Keep it ult, you mojo. Okay, well, obviously, I'm not going to make it. I did like a little dramatic pause there for everybody, but of course, I'm not going to make that. Yemo had some really good stuns. I was able to Phantom Shell the Yemo ult. Again, Phantom Shell kind of coming in handy, but it didn't really help out too much because she had really good stuns right there, and then we just got slowed to holy hell. So, unfortunately, we died. But we got the tower, and they got a purple, so it actually was not worth. It wasn't worth it at all. And I'm actually surprised they got over there that fast, because when I looked over, Yemo was in mid. So it's kind of a good play, but if you're going to do something like that, make sure you're paying attention to the map, right? That's something that I didn't do as well right there, and so we got punished for it. I still got the tower, but I died. Luckily, Cupid survived, but they got our purple, and they killed me, so I don't know if it was really too worth, and they also got map control. So I don't know if it was too worth, and it looks like Kali shaking Gold Fury, and yeah, they end up getting Gold Fury as well, right? So, like, that, of course, is just not worth. Just got to pay attention to the map right there. But we got our Onis completed, so now, like, we're even tankier than we were. Now I can be even more aggressive. Just because I've died a couple times doesn't mean I need to let up, all right? I'm not counting deaths over here. I'm counting my effectiveness, what I can do, all that kind of jazz. And right now, I can actually do a lot this game. I can do a lot right now. So I'm going to try to trap in the CMO with Agni, which we do. But then he gets gone on by Wukong, so you got to pay attention to that. So I'm going to come over here, try to stun the Wukong off best I can. We're going to stun out his decoys. And nice. I should be playing aggressive right here because I know my Aladdin's over there. So a little bit of a mistake by me. Because I knew Aladdin was right there, I should just kept walking up. It's all good though, it happens. And I'm going to flank this Anubis, but can't really do too much. So I shouldn't be stunning him right there. He knows that I might be toast right here now. But we get a really good stun onto his Locust, and he can't really do anything. But we do have our Agni. I think I'm screaming at this guy to, like, dash this guy. Really good stun by the Agni, good follow-up stun by me, and then we end up killing him. So it was great follow-up, but where we screwed up right there was stunning the Anubis, right? We don't want to, like, walk up to the Anubis, stun him when no one else is there. We want to use our one to get out, especially because we get a movement speed boost and we are slow immune. So just kind of keep that in mind, right? I should be using my one not only as an engage tool, but as a survivability tool. Because we're slow immune, they have a lot of slows this game, especially Anubis, especially Emoja. In fact, especially pretty much all of them. We need to be looking to use our one to get out whenever we can. So luckily, though, we didn't get punished for it, and we still were able to kill Anubis. Running right back over to mid. Next item I'm going to be going into is... Ooh, let's go, baby. We got the Wukong. Homie is not getting in the air. But next item I'm going to be going into is Freya's Tears. Besides making Freya cry, the cool thing about this item is that it allows you to get 20% cooldown. And then you also get a shit ton of prots, too. Like, you get a ton of prots. Did we get this? Yeah, we do. Thank goodness. I don't know why my team was so backed up right there. I don't know why that Yemo walked in either. We should be able to... We should be able to kill this guy, though. Oh, no. Anubis is here. That's not good. Yeah, I'm the one that dies. GG. But, but yeah, so Freya's Tears is going to be really, really good for his cooldown. I pretty much buy it on, like, every support build right now. Depending... It's slot dependent. Like, I could get it earlier. I could get it a little bit later. For example, on Yemo, what I do is I usually go Deso second. So I go, like, Spirit Robe, Deso, then Freya's Tears. But on someone like Ares, I might go Freya's Tears second, just because I need those cooldowns for Ares chains, because Ares is like, he's just all about his chains, right? And his chains take like 15 seconds to come up in this game, so you want that CDR as fast as possible. But it just kind of depends. But on Cab, going at third is completely fine. I want to get my tanky items up first, which my first two items are super tanky. Then we can go Freya's Tears, which is another really good tanky item. But again, I'm also building it primarily for the cooldown. Well, I guess primarily for both, right? But like the cooldown is really why I really, really want it. So that's what we're going next. And you just want to kind of do a mixture of tankiness and cooldown. So gonna try to secure this red. I should be going right here to help out the posts. And I think I'm calling the fight. Wukong's looking at us though, so they're just gonna kind of disengage. We're kind of like the team comp that tries to get online a little bit later on. And that's what we're doing. So I go over here to get the bomb. I think Post gets a little bit mad at me, or Aladdin does. He's like attack right lane, and then I just back up. But I wanted to get the bomb, make sure it didn't expire. But yeah, we're the kind of team comp that's going to scale and outscale these guys like crazy because we have an Agni, they have a Wukong mid, and Yemoja's still really good, but like I said, the cab I think is insane. So we get a really good ult onto this guy, knowing that he's going to use his dash. Super good Aegis by him, but yeah, the second he misses ult, I know we're good. If he didn't miss that ult, like I was actually kind of scared that he was going to kill somebody because he didn't miss ult, or because he hadn't ulted yet. But yeah, so we're just going to lock this guy down. And yeah, get him too. And we're actually just doing a really, really good job. Phantom Shell comes in clutch, just like I told y'all earlier. Gets the Agni out, which is huge. We want to stun this Cupid a little bit. Forces beads, forces dash. Just want to try to negate the damage onto my allies. Going to keep stunning him though. And give this post some like wiggle room. But unfortunately, we get taken down and he has no mana. If he has mana, I'm pretty sure he just kills everybody here. Because he's actually doing a ton right now. But he's got no mana. And do I switch over to him? I want to see if he's like... Oh, let's go. Oh, that Kraken. How did I not kill anybody? Did he just completely miss? I think he hit him on the edges. It's not no Pagon right there, but he got the kill. He got the kill. Good stuff, Thunderbolt. But as we're dead, one thing I think we probably should be playing for next is Gold Fury. Gold Fury actually, or Fire Giant. We do have a lot of burn on Fire Giant. In fact, you'll be amazed at how fast we burn FG this game in our attempts to pull it. But Fire Giant could actually be something that we could go over and do since we have Kali mid and Yemo's dead still for 10. So the point of pulling an objective in this game is to force the enemy team to walk in. So if, for example, if you're strong and you can pull the objective and you have a lot of burn and the enemy team knows that, they have to walk in. And if they walk in, then you force a fight. So that's one comm I'll try to make a lot is like, hey, like let these guys walk in, pull this, they have to walk in, then force this fight, right? Drop the FG, drop the goal, whatever it is, and force the fight. This is a little risky from us. I understand why we're doing this because Wukong went right, Nubis is dead, but we don't know where Cupid is, and they could just be on FG. Okay, now Cupid's here, so we're fine. But that's one thing you got to watch out for, right, when you're pulling these objectives. So and try to get out of gold pit. We know that Yemo kind of siphoned off the damage from my allies, so I just wanted to play that. Nice little attempt by us. So we dropped bomb to body block Cupid autos. That's what we did. We still end up dying, but it buys us a lot of time. They end up killing the Cupid. We still get the gold, and then we kill the Yemo. And Yemo also gets like hit by the bomb a little bit. So overall, really good play by us. Not sure if I had show up during that engagement. If I did, then I'm trolling. But if I didn't, then I'm not trolling. That was a great play. So let's see what I'm going to look into next. I think I wanted to go beads this game just for the extra CC and cooldown, but I don't think I actually end up going beads. Yeah, okay. So we're going to go into... Are we going into Ankh? Okay. We should be going into Ankh, personally. So I know why I'm going into Stone of Binding. And the reason being is because Stone of Binding is really, really good if you have a lot of CC abilities, and Cab is riddled with CC. I mean, his entire base kit is CC, right? And then, of course, you have your ult, which you can kind of almost consider CC, right? Because you have something that blocks people's movement. But Cab's like entire kit is pretty much CC. So we're going to be able to stack this Stone of Binding on them really, really well. And it's going to be able to shred people. So that's why we're going to be going into Binding. However, we should have at least gotten T2 Ankh. That's something I'll do quite a bit. You get T2 Ankh, and then with T2 Ankh, you can kind of just leave it at that because it has enough anti-heal. Hold on, that was a really good ult by Post. Yeah, I mean, we're just trying to keep people here as much as we possibly can. See, like, I have so much damage backing me up right now. Like, if I'm just running in there and stunning people, they can't really do much about it. Like, look at this shred. This is 2 people. I'm not even considered a human being when hitting this Fire Giant. This is literally just 2 people. There's just Kali and this is Post. But we want to try to get these guys off of my allies. They end up getting it, unfortunately. I think Post dies here. Yeah, there's no way he's getting out. And he gets dagger. He has a really good use on the dagger, too. I actually thought this fight was chalked. This fight kind of is chalked right now, but our Aladdin gets a kill. He gets another ult onto this guy, which is huge, this Cuckoo. We get some good stuns. So the fight's not all lost, but That was a really tragic hit, right? Like, they got the dagger, they had really good use of the dagger, and then they got Fire Giant as well. So that kind of sets us back. Fortunately, we were able to kill everybody. I'm going to bait this guy by being low health. Everybody gets baited by this shit, man, I swear. They just see somebody, like, they see a tank that's super low HP. Like, look at that. Owned. See a tank that's super low HP, and they're like, ah. Oh, I see this Yemo hogging at me. I'm like, I got to run. I don't know what kind of lunacy I did there to get out of that, but that was close. I kind of, like, wedged my way through the crack of that Yemo. I don't know what I did, but she was on the hunt. She was a pig on the hunt. The second I saw that, I was like, yo, I got to get out of here. Oh, man. We deserve to live. We deserve to live. Thumbs up.
Nice. That's a fire.
But, no, in all seriousness, so, like, that was a big hit, but it's not something you can, you know, it's not something that you should get upset about, right? I think people get upset about too many things in this game. Like, oh, we lost Fire Giant. You know, it's like, whatever, we lost the FG. That sucks. But fortunately, we burned their dagger. We killed FG pretty much off all of them. And we're still up 4K gold. Like, we are still winning these fights. You know what I mean? If anything, the FG would have made the fights neutral. Because the way I think about FG, the way I've always thought about FG, whether it's in Smite 1 or Smite 2, is it's pretty much like an additional item, right? And that's what it is. It's like an additional item. It gives you power, gives you regen, sustain, all that kind of jazz. So, it sucks, but it's not like the worst thing ever. I'm going to try to kill this Cuckoo. I don't know why he... Damn. I was too slow with my ult. I don't know why that Cuckoo turned around like that, but I was way too slow with my ult. Here, we're getting a little too aggressive. This is one of those plays I mentioned to not do. If, you know, you want to be smart about things. But, yo, what am I doing right now? And I used the shell. Yo, Anubis does not want me to live.
You see how I'm like trying to juke in cam?
No. That's
the funniest shit.
Don't do that at home, children. Don't do that at home.
I used to fucking laugh at me because every time
That was some troll stuff. I'll do a lot of troll stuff here and there. Like, for example, not buying wards is not a good thing to do, but I guess I was kind of doing a mini series of getting to demigod / deity without buying any wards, and I haven't bought any wards. I think I bought 2 wards by accident back in like gold, but that was about it. I haven't bought wards since. So we haven't really bought any wards throughout this whole run. I don't know if that makes the series ineligible, but we have gotten to demigod without buying wards, pretty much. That's good. That's cool. All right. So, anyways, this is a cab video, not a ward video. Yeah. So I am going into Stone of Binding, and I should, like I said, I should have gotten T2 Onk. That should have been the build path. But so far, this build is looking really, really good. A lot of tankiness and a lot of things that sort of complement my kit. I've always talked about building to complement your kit. We're complementing because, again, we know that we have to get in there, so we're buying really tanky things. We're buying cooldown to help get our CDs up, and then we're getting Stone of Binding because we can abuse it, right? A good example of someone who doesn't abuse Stone of Binding and who Stone of Binding would not be good on would be Ares. Ares would be a really bad Stone of Binding user because he can't really proc it besides his ult. And you don't want to buy an item just to proc your ult, that kind of stuff. But we end up saving one of our allies, and so we're going to back up a little bit here. Got Wukong beads. Post has a really good all into Yemo. This Yemo is just not able to survive fights. Dude, I just want to run at this Wukong. He's been... Yeah, yo, he broke my ankles right there. Nah, this guy was just making me mad all game. Bacon was just getting me upset. Look at this. Look at this guy. That's what I mean by, like, the delay. Oh, he double backed.
Come to me, come to me.
Oh, we kill him, though, right? Nah. Here I'm wondering where my team is. I'm seeing my Aladdin, my Poseidon up top. I'll tell you right now, these are not my only deaths this game, chat. I said chat like I was streaming. These are not my only deaths this game, guys. YouTube. There we go. We have many, many more. But these are appropriate deaths, right? Like I said, don't necessarily look at the stat line. I feel like that's a bad habit to get into. Yes, you do want to be cognizant of how much you die here and there, but we are cab. Our whole thing, our whole spiel is getting in there and doing damage, right? Being aggressive. There's nothing worse than a passive Cabrakan. In fact, you can't even call yourself Cabroken at that point. I don't... Damn, that's just tragic. That was unfortunate. If I'm them, I get out if I'm these guys. Wukong looks for an ult. Post might be dead, unless Aladdin saves him. No. But yeah, so you just want to keep being aggressive as much as possible. We also got the war flag upgrade, although we got that a little bit ago. Forgot to mention that. Stone embodying is now completed. We do have a ring. I believe at one point I was going to go into beads, and then somebody from chat said like, hey, how about Hexstone? And I was like, oh yeah, you're right. Hexstone's actually really good here. Talked a little bit about that earlier. Hexstone is really good on cab to help close the gap, right? Because you want to get in there. You want to get close. Hexstone's going to close that gap and allow you to get close. Add some extra CC. So here we kind of want to look for an ambush. Me and Agni. Agni is a ton of damage. I think Post is probably my highest damage dealer per second right now. But like my Kali, my Post, and my Agni all do a ton of damage. So as long as they're by me, we can make a lot work. Let's just say that. We can make a lot work. See that Anubis flanking us on the map, but this guy's kind of weak. Ooh, really, really good ult right there. Massive ult. And we get a really good cripple onto the Cupid who can't do anything. Oh, no. Yeah, we die here though. Dude, I have gotten Anubis solo ulted like 5 times this game. But in all fairness, Post is solo ulted the Yemoja like 40 million times, so we're chilling. We're looking at Erosion. I don't think Erosion... I don't know if Erosion is that good. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if Erosion's that good. I haven't really built it too much in Smite 2, so I can't really say for certain. I've tried it a couple times though, and I didn't enjoy it as much. So it's like, Erosion's probably not the play. But yeah, I think this is where I'm just like, okay, let's not do beads, and then let's go into Hexstone. Hexstone is definitely the play here. It's cool because it's all like the same items. It's funny, my team was just kind of like complaining how broken Wukong was this game. I'm just like, guys, not that broken. We just suck. Yeah. All right, what else about Cab, though? What else about Cab? What else can we say about him? Very good engager. Also is a very good peeler because it can evolve the CC, so it depends how you play him. I would play him to engage, though. I would almost always play him to engage and not to peel. If you're going to pick a peel tank, pick Khepri, pick Ganesh, right? One of those two. Doesn't mean you can't peel with Cab, though. Don't just like run at people and say, Dash said I can only engage with this character. No. You can definitely most certainly peel. You have multiple stuns in CC. We did it earlier. But I think your primary job depends on your team comp. Primary job is to engage, right? You want to look for those engage fights. You want to look to ult people. You want to look to set people up to be destroyed, to put it lightly. So that's what we're going to do. Look at how fast we're killing this FG. This is insane. Like, look at this. What is that? That's crazy. I'm going to walk up here. I saw Yemo on the map. I want to see if I can get somebody in my ult. If I had Cersei's Hexstone here, it would have been great, but we have a really good ult onto Minkus Stinkus, and my team is dealing with the Yemoja right now. We get 2 good CC, like right there, right? Like it's a very good just setup. But I realize, and this is an important point, not a lot of people do enough, try to like glance at your map. It's right there. It's right to the right. Try to glance at your map whenever you can. It's a lot harder to do when you're in the shit. I completely get it. But if you're glancing at your map, you can kind of understand and get a feel for how the game is being played out. And you can make, appropriate decisions from there, right? I saw that nobody was on the Cuckoo. I looked at the map and I saw Yemo. I was like, wait a minute. And I turned around and we're able to CC the Yemo and do stuff with my team. So it's great. This guy, man. Look at this guy. Dies for it. What a silly goose. I died too, but, it's all good. It's all good. Oh, Kali didn't use the dagger. No. So that's how they got the dagger. Okay. I was like, wait, how'd they get dagger? I mean, she did tell me she died with it, but I didn't see that. Okay.
Not really.
So that's how they got the dagger this game. It all makes sense. Luckily, though, Post gets a really good cleanup onto the Phoenix, so not all was lost.
That was the escape button.
And he forces out the enemy dagger, which is great. So here I'm just telling him to run. This is a good example of what not to do. I know you want to do it, but this is a great example of what not to do. And I'll tell you why in just a second. See if he gets out first. I mean, he has a ton of lifesteal. It's good hog by the Yemo. Not hog, but Hexstone.
Oh, okay, gotcha. No worries.
Great ult. Ult's actually not even doing that much damage. I told him the other guy was flanking. He gets caught up. Ends up killing though. So the reason why you don't do whatever he just did is because we're the ones with Fire Giant. They're not. So yes, he traded with the Cupid. Yes, we got Yemo ult. But that doesn't really matter considering Cupid's going to be up in about 45 seconds. Yemult's going to be up sooner than that, most likely, or just about the same time. So our next engagement, they're going to have both of those things up, and then we're not going to have the Fire Giant on Poseidon or on Agni, or whoever dies there, which is just Poseidon. So we're not going to have the Fire Giant on him because he's dead. So that's not really like a 1-for-1 trade. It kind of looks like it, right? It's like, oh, Poseidon died for Cupid, but Poseidon has Fire Giant. So it's more like a 1.5 to 1 trade, if that makes sense. And that's why you don't do that, right? You want to kind of keep that kind of stuff in mind. It's like, hey, you have Fire Giant, you're more valuable than this player just because you have Fire Giant, so don't trade your life away for him, that kind of stuff. I am taking a lot more poke than I realize. Yeah, then we get our Hexstone blocked. And then we're dead. Hey, listen, I told you guys. I said that. I warned you. I said those were not my only deaths this game. All right? We're up to 11. What did I say? 8 deaths. Now we're up to 11. So now I'm just kind of deciding on what item I want to get last. I'm thinking Hasar's Wings. Very expensive item, so if you're ever going to buy this item, probably just want to buy it last. Very good, though. You get perma-slow immunity, which is great. You get really good prots, some good HP. But the downside is, the trade-off is, it's about 3,500 gold, so it's actually more than the 3K pot. Is it 3,500? Yeah, I think it is. It's either 3K or 3,500. Pretty sure it's 3,500, though. So that's the trade-off, but very good item if you could do it. And plus, I didn't really know what I wanted to get last. Another one I like going a lot on Ares in particular, even on Yamoja, is Gem of Isolation. But on Cab, it's not really the best because, again, you're stunning people. So, like, the Gem of ISO isn't really getting too much value. You're going to get some value from your 3, but that was a really good one from the post. Or 2, whatever that ability is. Really good tide from him. But yeah, so like again, it's just building to complement your character's kit, right? Like on Ares, Gem of ISO, I am the Ares Gem of ISO abuser because that character can use Gem of ISO like crazy well because he has a ton of tick damage. Your chain's already slow. You have Gem of ISO, they're slowing by 50% more, 15% more, sorry. And so like it's just doing so much, right? So maybe what I could have done instead of Hasar's Wings in this build is went for a damage item on Cab to be even more ridiculous. But Hasar's Wings is still completely fine, I think. And we're able to kill the Anubis. Okay, listen, I'm only taunting him because there's one reason to taunt somebody, and that's because he's pissing you off, all right? That's because he's playing maybe well. I'm only taunting him because he keeps ulting me. I got ulted for like the 5th time. I mean, you guys saw it, bro. You guys saw it, all right? Got ulted for the 5th time. I have to taunt him. So I make the call here to end. I say, hey, we can actually end if we kill this Anubis. We did, so it's like, cool. Look at the timers. Wukong's only 1 up. Can't really stop us. Should have got that ult off. Didn't. Then we missed it, but that's all right. It doesn't really matter. I mean, we just do so much damage here. Pop the Phantom, and we live. Beautiful. So great game by us. Great game by the team as well. Like kind of sort of a good comeback because Wukong was dominating mid lane for the early game. We played Cab really, really well. Had a lot of really good setup, a lot of really good CC, a lot of really good stuns. Again, that's how you want to play Cab. Be aggressive. Build very tanky, right? Try to build some CDR in there as well. We had R1 was coming up very, very quickly. But that's what you want to do with the Cab. Build tanky, build some of that CDR, and just play extremely aggressive. Do not care about those 11 deaths. I mean, those 11 deaths, like, flew past me. I don't even know. As far as I'm concerned, I played perfectly because we won the game. GG. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you enjoyed the voiceover commentary. Hopefully it was informative, but also entertaining at the same time. That's what I try to do here. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Until next video, peace, peace.